The initial U.S. response to the Hamas attack 10 days ago was immediate condemnation. But absent was the call for Israeli restraint that in the past would be part of U.S. reaction. Over the past 24 hours, as the U.S. Secretary of State shuttled through the region, there's been an apparent shift in the U.S. position. President Biden now advising Israel against any reoccupation of Gaza.
What happened in Gaza, in my view, is Hamas and the extreme elements of Hamas don't represent all the Palestinian people. And I think that it would be a mistake for Israel to occupy Gaza again. But to going in and taking out the extremists, the Hezbollah is up north, but Hamas down south is a necessary requirement.
Do you believe that Hamas must be eliminated entirely?
Yes, I do. But there needs to be a Palestinian Authority. There needs to be a path to a Palestinian state.
We work together to make sure that, to the best of our ability, this conflict does not spread.
A possible reason for the U.S. shift may be a consequence of Antony Blinken's discussions. In his meeting with Egyptian President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi, Arab anger at Israeli action was made public.
This is a huge crisis, and I'm concerned that the Israeli reaction exceeded the right to self-defense and turned into a collective punishment of the Gaza Strip, which has 2.3 million Palestinians.
In Doha, the Iranian foreign minister met the Emir of Qatar, Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani, who maintains relations with all parties to the conflict. In an interview with Al Jazeera, Iran's top diplomat said his country will not remain a bystander if Israel continues attacking Gaza.
If the measures aiming at immediately stopping the Israeli occupations attacks that are killing children in the Palestinian territories, namely in the Gaza Strip, and in the deadlock, it is highly probable that many other fronts will be opened. This option is not ruled out, and this is becoming increasingly more probable.
The Biden administration appears increasingly concerned about a wider war. A recommitment to a two-state solution, along with increasing efforts in humanitarian relief, may be part of a strategy to reassure Arab allies that the U.S. can be a fair broker in the conflict. Mike Hanna, Al Jazeera, Washington.
Let's go live now to Heidi Jo Castro in Washington, D.C. Heidi, it does appear there is this shift in the rhetoric coming from the U.S. president when it comes to the Gaza war. What do we make of it?
That's right, Malene, but it's notable that in this interview that President Biden gave, he doesn't even come close to criticizing Israel. Rather, this shift, if you want to call it that, it is that he's coming closer now to warning Israel to show some restraint in not occupying Gaza. Now, he also expressed concern for the humanitarian crisis in Gaza, saying that he believed Israel, though, would follow international law and minimize civilian casualties. He also said that he was, quote, confident that civilians in Gaza would not be prevented from having water, food, or medicine. Now, this is an interview that was taped on Thursday. It just aired in the United States. But obviously, from what we've been seeing, that has not been the situation for Gazans who are indeed running short on all of those humanitarian needs. Now, as far as the president goes now, he is now weighing a potential visit to Israel, having received an invitation from Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. The White House not giving much information about this potential visit, a lot of it depending on the security circumstances going forward, when and if this happens, and also asked more to expand on the two-state solution that Biden alluded to in this interview, which of course has long been the U.S. policy. The president was asked whether now is the time for that two-state solution to be pursued. His answer was no.
Thank you for that, Heidi Jo Castro, there for us in Washington, D.C.